Today we're speaking with Tony Mikus, and Tony, you're the lead singer and guitar player from the band Big Engine, and I understand you guys are based out of Florida. Is that correct?
Yeah, actually, my last name is Mikus. I know it's kind of difficult, M-I-K-U-S.
Oh, okay. Thanks for correcting that. Thanks for correcting us on that. And my name is Jason J. Rock Houston, and Tony, you're being interviewed for Chaotic Riffs magazine tonight. Your latest album is called Shot Like a Rocket. I understand the release date is August 19th. Could we start the interview off talking a little bit about the new album?
Sure. It's 14 tracks. Got a little bit of different styles on there, and we're real proud of the record. It's our first release through Pavement and distributed through Sony and MRI Red, or Sony Red, I should say. So, yeah, we're excited about it. It's a straight-ahead rock record. For those of you not familiar with the band, it's kind of more of what we've been doing for years now. We're just kind of garnering a bigger and bigger audience as time goes on, which is great.
And let me ask you, is this the band's first release, or have you guys released other albums?
No, we've had several over the years. The guitar player, Hans Ulrich, and I have been playing together for over 15 years.
Oh, wow.
And kind of built, a good kind of underground following in the rock world, mainly, in the southeast is where we've been concentrating on. We're from Jacksonville, Florida, but we're branching out more. Right now I'm in Indianapolis. This past weekend we played Cleveland and Morgantown, West Virginia, and the week before was Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and Kentucky. And now we're heading to Sturgis, South Dakota to do 9 shows at the Full Throttle Saloon for the big motorcycle event up there.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because I seen that your publicist sent me a little press release about that, and that's totally cool because I could see you guys playing in a place like that. Talk a little bit about how you guys got that opportunity to play there.
Well, being in Jacksonville, we're only about an hour and a half from Daytona.
Okay.
And we started playing some of the events down there, some of the NASCAR events and some of the motorcycle events. And it just kind of built from there. The cool thing about doing that is those events attract people from all over the United States, obviously. So when you're playing there, you're not just playing to locals in that area. And, the people would get our CDs and kind of take them to their hometowns and spread the word a little bit. Tell places where they were from that you really need to book this band. And then you get people that do the other events, like Mike Ballard, the owner of Full Throttle. He saw us a decade ago in Florida, and before he had his TV show and everything. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I got a place in Sturgis, South Dakota called the Full Throttle Saloon. I'd love to have you guys up to play. And so we've done that several times now. It'll be our 8th time to Sturgis, our 5th time playing at the Full Throttle Saloon. So we're excited about it. And
for anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, Full Throttle Saloon is, like you said, they got a TV show that airs on True TV from time to time, and it's basically these guys, they own like a saloon where bikers go and hang out, and they have these events like you're saying, biker rallies, and bands come, such as I think Bret Michael's and obviously you guys, and Jackyl, because Jesse James Dupree, he's involved with it as well. And that's really a different crowd you guys are playing to, because like I said, it's not just people showing up to these events. They're not just music fans. They're like bikers and stuff, and this is their way of life. So what's it like playing for a crowd like that?
It's great because everybody that goes to those events, they come from such diverse backgrounds. I mean, you'll be playing to a guy that's dressed in all leather and find out he's a dentist from Albuquerque.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're playing to strictly people that are straight out of Sons of Anarchy. It's all walks of life, that just happen to enjoy motorcycles and getting together and watching live music and having fun. So it's been a really great thing for us because it's really kept live music, especially live rock and roll, alive.
And listening to your music, Big Engine, you guys could play with, which I understand you've played with Bret Michaels and open shows for Ted Nugent and stuff. And I could see you guys, even playing with Lynyrd Skynyrd, maybe even a Motorhead. But you guys kind of got that southern rock feel to your music. But it's kind of amazing that a little band from Jacksonville, but you guys could play with all these various types of bands.
It's been surprising for us, really. I mean, when we started the band, we didn't know where it was going to go. I mean, we didn't have these delusions of grandeur or anything. We just liked playing music, and it's kind of been a slow, kind of organic growth, and we fit well with a bunch of different types of bands. I mean, we've played in the past year. We've played with such diverse acts as David Allen Coe and
Wow.
the Kentucky Headhunters, to as you mentioned, Bret Michaels and Jackyl, and we're playing with Molly Hatchet coming up,
Wow.
which is another Jacksonville band.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't aware that Jacksonville is where Southern rock started. That's where the Allman Brothers actually first got together before they moved to Macon. And then, of course, Leonard Skinner and 38 Special, Molly Hatchet, Blackfoot, they're all from the Jacksonville area. So our roots kind of go back to that. I think we're a little more straight ahead, but we definitely don't shy away from our roots.
And you mentioned Jackyl, and I got to ask you if you're at all a Jackyl fan, because obviously, talking a little bit about the Full Throttle Saloon, we all know Jesse James Dupree is involved in that. He's got his band, of course, Jackyl, which he's mostly known for. But a lot of people, when they hear Jackyl, they think of a song, with the lumberjack song and the chainsaw thing, and that's kind of his legacy. But if people really get into the music of Jackyl, I think they'd be surprised, and how great that music is, and if you know anything about Jesse James, he's a really hard worker. So I was curious, if you at all a Jackyl fan?
I am, and I was a Jackyl fan from the first record, and that's one of the cool things is the progression of Big Engine. We've got to meet a lot of the people that we were fans of. I mean, I had never dreamed that I would be backstage and staring Lemmy in the face.
Wow.
And I mean, that's just amazing. I mean, people would pay good money to have that happen, and so we've got to play with a lot of people that we really admired, and Jesse's one of them. I mean, Jesse, if you've ever been around Jesse, that guy is one of the hardest working guys on and off stage, and we're fortunate that we've got to do several shows with him over the past couple of years. And in fact, Shot Like a Rocket, we recorded some of the songs at Jesse's studio.
Oh, wow.
Down in the Atlanta area. Yeah, so it's been pretty neat. And on Shot Like a Rocket, on several of the songs, Jesse's son Nigel, who is a great artist in his own right, he was hanging out in the studio with us, and I said, "Hey, man, we're going to be cutting some background vocals here. You want to join us?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, man, that'd be great." So Nigel Dupree is actually on our record doing some background vocals with us.
Oh, wow. Totally cool. Now, let me ask you, what was that like? You're talking a little bit about, you had the opportunity one time to meet Lemmy. I mean, was he aware of who you were, or would he tell you anything like, "Hey, man, I checked out your music. I really think what you guys do is cool"? Or what was that conversation like?
No, I was kind of in awe, to be honest with you. We got lucky. It was a one-off show. They were doing a show in Cherokee, North Carolina, and the third band on the bill, the promoter, didn't want on the package for whatever reason, and so called us up in Jacksonville and said, "Can you come up to Cherokee, North Carolina? I've got a show going on with Motorhead and the Reverend Warden Heat." I'm like, "Oh, absolutely." So
Wow.
we went up there and did that show, and one of the really cool things was I was backstage, and Matt Sorum from Guns N' Roses fame and the Cult fame and from Velvet Revolver came hopping off of Motorhead's bus,
And he was, yeah.
and he was actually filling in, playing drums with Motorhead during that part of the tour.
Wow, how cool.
And yeah, it was really cool. And a great icebreaker was the guy that engineered and mixed the first Velvet Revolver record is the same guy that we recorded with out in L.A., and his name is Ryan Williams, and he's like my best friend. And so I saw Matt hop off the bus, and I go, "Hey, Matt," I was just talking to Ryan Williams, and he goes, "Oh, you know Ryan Williams?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, he's my best friend. We recorded with him." He's like, "Oh, I love Ryan." And it's kind of an icebreaker. And I'm like, "What are you doing here?" And he said, I'm filling in 13 dates because Motorhead's drummer is filming in Malaysia, some European version of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, some reality show. So I'm filling 13 dates. And it was a really cool thing, and Matt turned out to be super cool. And once again, just another one of those things that you never thought would happen. And there you are.
And that's really cool, because like I said before you were even telling me about that, I could see you guys, doing a show with even a band like Motorhead, and from what I understand, if you can play for a Motorhead crowd, you can pretty much play for anybody, because Motorhead fans are really they're diehard, and they either boo you off the stage or they'll love what you're all about.
To be honest with you, that's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I thought we're not going to last, but we're going to do it. But the reception was phenomenal. We had a great set. We did an hour show. Afterwards, the merch area was filled. We did really well. It was just so cool standing on the side of the stage watching Lemmy do this thing. It was just unbelievable.
And I got to tell you, Tony, and people listening, that I've been really looking forward to talking to you since I scheduled this interview last week with your publicist, because she also sent me a digital link to check out your new album that's coming out August 19th. And I got to tell you, Tony, I've never heard of a band, Big Engine, before. And what I like to do, when I get music sent to me, is I like to check out the whole album, not just a few select tracks. And I got to tell you, I fell in love with the band. I want to tell people, go out and buy this album, because there's no filler material on this album, and from start to finish, every track on here stands out in its own. You take any track off this album, and it could be a single. And I got to tell people, what I really loved about the album too, like you said, you guys kind of got that southern rock vibe going to what you do, but it's more than that. You got great ballads, you got great rockers, and everything in between. And it seems to be like a real. A lot of people are talking about about the upcoming album, and you guys now. What do you think it is about Big Engine that people are starting to really take notice of now?
I really appreciate what you said, and I'm excited about the record. I think people can tell that we're genuine. We've been doing this a long time, and it's what we love to do. There's nothing contrived on the record. We play, and we play a lot, and the songs are the songs that work well for us live, and we just wanted to take them to bigger audiences, and we're pleasantly surprised with the kind of buzz that's building about this record, because we're just continuing to do what we've been doing for years.
Yeah.
But more people are discovering it, so I'm really excited about it, because you obviously want the record to do well, but the main thing I really want the record to do well for is so that we get to do another record, because we love making music that much, and the business end of things, if a record doesn't do well, then it's hard to do another one. So we're excited that people are excited about this record, and we're looking forward to what's coming next from Big Engine.
And
I think people know that we're for real, and it's not some flash in the pan, something that's put together in a computer,
Yeah,
that has its place, I guess, in the market. But we're just a real genuine rock and roll band.
And let me ask you, is this your first release for Pavement Entertainment and Sony Records? Because they really seem to be really pushing you guys, and the new album's not even out yet till August 19th.
Yeah, I'm excited. So far, the relationship is going really well. The line of communication is really good. We didn't really know what to expect going into it, but we thought the band was worthy of some push, and we were glad that there were other people that kind of took notice. And I think the timing's right for everything. So we're excited about it. Our current fan base is really happy for us and been behind us a long time, and glad to see good things happening for the band. And hopefully a lot of new people will kind of discover the band, and they'll enjoy it, and will become part of their lives too.
And I was curious, how did you guys get the deal with Pavement? Was it a matter of you sending them some demos, or did somebody from a label approach you? How did that come about?
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. We've been doing things on our own for a while, and unless somebody can really do something more for you, when you get to our level, then the more you do on your own, the better off you are. But we just felt that there were some things that we could use some help with, especially playing 200 shows a year.
Oh yeah.
There's some things that you just can't handle on your own. So we had kind of been looking around. We had been pursued by some other people, and it just didn't feel right. I had just been looking around online and saw that I was looking for bands. Like you said, we've got kind of a southern flavor, but I don't think it's overbearingly southern.
No.
But I was looking at new southern releases on one thing, and I saw about Tantric's new record, and I was like, oh, Tantric's. I never really considered them a southern band, but for some reason this one website had them listed as new southern releases, and I saw that they were on Pavement. So I looked into Pavement and liked what I saw, and liked the artists that I saw on there, and the online presence that they had, and the push that they were giving their artists. And so I approached them and let them know what we were up to. And Tim, the bassist of Soil, got back with me, and turns out that he really liked big engine music, and so it was kind of a natural thing. He really checked out the band and really liked what we were doing, and liked the work ethic and the music and everything. And so he kind of told me what they had going on and what they could offer, and seemed like a really good fit.
Yeah. For anybody who doesn't know about Pavement Entertainment, like you're saying, Tim King, the bass player from Soil, he's actually one of the people behind Pavement Entertainment, and he started the label not just as a means to get his own music out there, but to get other bands he believed in, kind of support and help them get their music out there. So I think it's really cool that you guys are on a label that is owned, by a fellow musician, as opposed to some guy just in a suit who knows nothing about what it takes to, be a working musician.
Yeah, you're right about that, and it shows when you're dealing with them, the communication and just knowing what bands go through. It was a lot easier. It's kind of speaking the same language, and it's a fair situation for everybody involved, and so it's very comfortable, very comfortable.
And let me ask you, Tony. Now, you guys said you've pretty much toured like locally where you're from and that, but with this release, is the plan to take it all across the U.S. and then maybe in other parts of the world?
That is the plan. Yeah, we've been lucky on our own to be able to play a good part of America, and we're looking to expand that. Most of it that we've done, I've booked on my own as a band leader and booking agent and everything else. So hopefully the record will do well, and we'll be able to get out there with some other bands that are doing well and bring it to bigger audiences. So that's the goal. We've never been one to sit still and wait on anything to happen for us. We've kept it going ourselves. So if we can get somebody else behind us to kind of help with some other things, I think it is going to expand greatly. And we'd love to play anywhere and everywhere, and can't even imagine going over to Europe and getting to do that. That would be amazing.
And kind of to educate people on the history of the band, I was curious, how long has the band been going? I mean, when did you guys first form, and how did you all first get together?
Well, it's been a while, in the 90s.
Okay.
And it's weird because when you're in a band that long and you keep the same name, you change some members, sometimes you even change the style of music a little bit here and there depending on who you're playing with and what you're into at the time. So the band has a long history, but it's really been more of a concentrated effort, I would say, in the past about 7 years. We put out an album in 2007 called Rock and Roll Machine, and it did really well for us, and that was kind of a rebirth of the band to where we really kind of focused in on the types of things that we're doing now, and we started to kind of expand out of being just a local band in the Jacksonville, Florida area to being a regional band, and then more of a magazines about rock that would find out about us.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a slow burn, but it's been nice like that. It's been a real solid base, and it seems like we just keep adding on to a really strong foundation. And we feel like the band has really hit its stride right now in the live situation and with recorded.
And that kind of shows you the power of the internet. I mean, like you're saying, it's pretty amazing when you tell me that you're being approached for interviews and stuff by European magazines, and these are countries that you have never even performed in. You've never even done a concert in any of these European countries. Yet there's enough interest in your band with these European magazines that they want to talk to you, and you haven't even played over it. That's got to be a great feeling to know that.
It is, and then the flip side is there's enough interest in our band in foreign markets that we've actually been ripped off.
Wow, yeah.
I've gotten emails from people of, when did you sign with this so-and-so label in this so-and-so country? I'm like, I didn't. Well, you're on this compilation album. Oh,
wow.
Okay. So,
yeah, and on the flip side of that, it's got to be amazing when you get, you must get emails and stuff, and people messaging you on Facebook, telling you about, I just heard your song or whatever. And again, I imagine you've heard from people like all over, even in maybe Russia, Mexico, or wherever, and that must just kind of trip you out. Way, somebody's on the other side of the world listening to our record. We're a little tiny band from Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah, you're right. It does, and yeah, I always have that reaction, even if it happens on a fairly regular basis. It still just amazes me.
And again, that shows you the power of music. That it can, again, you're a little band from Jacksonville, Florida, and it's reached the other side of the world. I mean, that just shows you how strong the music is and how powerful it is.
Yeah, and music has always meant so much to me. I mean, even as a little kid, it just always resonated with me, and I'm sure it does with millions and millions of people.
Yeah.
But it's wonderful when you do something, you create something, and when you're the own creator of it, it's easy to second guess yourself, But when somebody out of the blue comes up to you and grabs your hand and says, "Thank you so much for this song. It helped me through a hard time," or "I knew exactly how you were feeling," and it just, when you strike that chord with somebody, that's exactly what you're looking for as a songwriter and a performer, and there is no better reward. I don't care if you don't sell another record. When people come up and say that to you, that's what you do it for.
And talk a little more about the power of the internet. Another thing I love is like you take a band like Big Engine, and like I said, you're hearing a lot of noise about the band now, and the album doesn't even come out till the 19th. But you guys are the kind of band that once the album is out and more people start to hear it, more people, more fans, more of your fans are going to start spreading the word to their friends, are going to tell their friends, and that's what I love about doing what I do, giving people a chance to expose people to new music, great new bands, or bands that have been around like you for a while but never had the opportunity for people to hear them. I mean, I listen to your album, like I said, Tony, and I'm knowing nothing about the band, never having heard of you, and I don't really think, like you said, you got a real strong Southern music vibe. I'd almost say classic rock vibe. But what really impressed me was the songwriting. I mean, to be successful, you got to have the songs, you got to have talent, and you guys got it all. So I was curious, you a primary songwriter in the band?
Yeah, most of it comes from me first, but I'm really glad that the other guitarist, Hans Ulrich, he's really come along as a songwriter too, especially on the musical side of things. And so for some of the songs on this record, I keep notes and little voicemails to myself about different lyrical ideas or whatever. And for a couple of the songs, Hans would come to me and go, "I got this guitar riff. What do you think of this?" Oh my gosh, that fits up exactly with this lyrical idea I had. So that's worked out before. And also, one of the producers we've worked with, Ryan Williams, he's an incredible musician, and so some of the songs on the record, the same type of thing. He would be like, "Oh, I've got this guitar riff. What do you think of this?" "Oh yeah, man, I can do something with that." So it's nice to have other people to write with also,
Yeah.
so you don't, because a lot of the songs I wrote solely myself,
Yeah.
but it's nice when somebody else does something and it inspires you or goes with something that you're already thinking about, and you get to that comfort level with each other to where you can bring the best out of each other. So I'm looking forward to more of the collaborative stuff that we have on this record for the next record.
Yeah, and again, I listened to this album you guys have, and like I said, there's no filler material. All the songs really are, they stand out on their own, and you probably release any of them as a single. The thing is, none of these songs, if you listen to them, take time to listen, none of them sound contrived. Doesn't sound like you were trying to sound like, the latest flavor of a month. This is all stuff you guys write from the heart, and anybody who puts on the record, I think they're gonna get that,
Man, I really appreciate it. I appreciate you giving me this opportunity to tell people about Big Engine. I'm sure all the bands that you expose to people really appreciate what you do, and I'm glad you feel that way, because, like I said, when you write something yourself, you don't know how people are going to react to it, and you try to make yourself happy, and you just hope other people can hear that in what you're doing, and that can get something out of it too. So really glad to hear that you feel that way.
And that's why a great thing about what you guys do is if you have success with this album, you have that you can have that feeling that hey, we did it our way. We didn't have, we weren't trying to sound like anybody else. We weren't trying to sound like the flavor of a month. We just do what we do, and people are loving it.
Yeah, we've kind of always done that. And I don't know, it's because we were dumb. We should have tried to sound like something else. No, I was just kidding. But we just kind of felt like, our people will find us. That we always kind of were under that impression that just do what you do, and your audience will find you. And we've been very fortunate, especially in the live situation, to kind of find market for ourselves,
mm-hmm.
and to keep the band going to where it's a full-time situation for us, and we're able to go out and play and have a good time, and get inspiration from the live crowd, and they've supported our record. So we want to continue just doing what we're doing, because if we were trying to be something we weren't, I don't think it would last very long.
Yeah, and people would be able to see right away that you guys were being phonies, if you know what I mean. And so I think it's great that you guys do what you do, because I know listening to the album, I really love it, and I hope people, when it drops August 19th, go out and get it, and that the band will be very successful. And I got to tell you, after listening to this album, again, I've never heard of Big Engine until the publicist sent me this press release and we set up the interview. But I listened to this album. Not only do I want to go buy this album, but then I want to go and get all the other albums before. So on that note, I'd like to ask you, are all your albums currently in print, or are there any that are no longer available?
Yeah, they're all in print. Some of them, I'm surprised that they're still out there.
Uh-huh.
We were at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland yesterday.
Wow.
And they've got the little gift shop there, and we just for fun on the little computer there in the music section, we typed in Big Engine, got all excited when it when Shot Like a Rocket came up, and said it comes out August 19th and available for pre-order. We were excited about that. Did a little Facebook thing about it. But then we also saw where some live album of ours is available from 2006, and I'm like, when did that happen? And who's got that? So, yeah, some of them are surprisingly still available.
And is there any chance that, I imagine it depends on how this album does, but if this album is a success, it looks like it's going to be, that Pavement might release the back catalog?
There might be. We haven't gone beyond this. I mean, this has been a pretty quick deal.
Yeah.
With Pavement, we are hopefully doing at least one more record together.
Uh-huh.
But this whole thing, we kind of had the songs ready, and once they heard it and saw what the band was doing on our own as far as playing to a wide audience and stuff, and they felt like they could help us out and expose the band to more people. It was a pretty quick deal. So we're already working on new material. Already got some new songs going, and but I wouldn't be opposed to releasing some of the other stuff for sure. We're proud of the band's history, and a lot of our fans, would love to see that stuff get the push that they feel that the songs deserve.
Yeah, because see that's a thing, this album's getting the big push, and then there's people, you got your loyal audience, people that have known about you for years, but then you got people like me who are just hearing about the band for the first time, and so I think even when you guys start touring behind this album, at first people are going to know, all the songs off the new album, but they're not going to know some of the, older tunes you'll be performing, and that'd be a great thing if you guys could get the back catalog release, and that would allow people that are just learning about the band to kind of be more familiar with the older material.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll happen for sure.
Yeah, and let me ask you. You said it's been 7 years since your last release, so I was curious. All these songs on "Shot Like a Rocket." Is this like 7 years worth of material you've been writing, or is any of it older material that's just been laying around, or is it all specifically written for this release?
Yeah, some of it has been, we asked our fans, what are your favorite Big Engine songs? And so some of the songs have been really strong songs in our live set for years. In fact, we had a hard time cutting down the number of songs that we were going to put on the record, and when I was first talking with Pavement, they were comfortable with the 8 or 9 song record.
Wow.
Like, I don't see us doing less than 14, because we had some brand new material that nobody had ever heard that we were ready to get out, and we knew it was going to get a big push, so we wanted to get our best foot forward, and the tried and proven songs. We wanted to make sure that everybody got a chance to hear those songs that had been a strong part of our show for years. So that's what the majority of this record is.
Oh, cool.
There's some brand new material on there. It's just a scratch from the surface of the material that we have available.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So hopefully people will dig this, and we will go back and either re-release or re-record along with some other new material we're working on.
Oh, that's totally cool. And I was kind of curious, Tony. Now, obviously, you're a guitar player too. I was curious, how old were you when you first started playing guitar?
I started out as a trumpet player.
Oh, really?
In middle school.
Really?
And then a few years later, I guess I was about 15 years old. My parents bought me an Ovation Viper solid body electric guitar.
Wow.
And after that, it was just rock and roll from there on.
And did you take...
I wanted to be a drummer when I started out. When I went to middle school to sign up for band, the 10 drum spots were already taken, so I just had to grab at anything just so I could be in the band, and wound up being a trumpet player. And I'm glad of it, because I got a really good education in reading music and just kind of the music theory behind everything as a trumpet player. And so it was a melodic instrument, so I think it helped me with my songwriting and vocal melodies, and that transferred to guitar also.
And did you take? I guess you kind of said you did. So I understand you took lessons then.
I didn't take very many guitar lessons. Most of my instruction was with composition and with trumpet playing. The guitar was just kind of that was the side project type of thing, and later in high school, that was the cool thing to do, was to play the guitar, and I was more self-taught on guitar. Oh,
that's cool.
I did have... Okay?
I was saying that's kind of cool, because it's pretty amazing to hear a guy like you say you're kind of self-taught and you can read music, and then you look at a guy, a legendary guy like Eddie Van Halen, and he does what he does, but he's just amazing on the guitar, but he can't read a lick of music.
Yeah, it seems like people are able to learn guitar without the theory part behind it, more than other instruments. But I'm glad that I had the musical background that I did, and I definitely think it helped. I think it made me look at things differently melody-wise, coming from that background.
And that's my next question. Starting out on the guitar and all these other instruments, Did you always kind of sing too, or did that come in? Did you decide you wanted to sing your own material later, or was it just a matter of out of everybody in the band, you had the best voice?
It was by default. I never wanted to be a singer. When I first started playing, I was so scared you could not get me near a microphone even for backup or anything. But I started writing. This is real early on in some of my first bands. I became the only writer, and because I would be the one writing it, when we would go to demo it, then I would be the one demoing the vocals until we found a singer. And we kind of had a hard time finding a singer, and so people were like, "But you sound fine. Why don't you just be the singer?" No, I don't want to be a singer. So it took a while, but I'm glad. I mean, it's worked out well for me. So
yeah, because I was gonna say, in listening to the, again, coming from a guy who's never heard nothing about Big Engine, wasn't aware of the band's history. I listened to this, your latest album coming out, August 19th, and I was really impressed with the vocals. I thought, man, this guy sounds like a real, a real natural singer. And the thing about that, I think part of the reason for that, Tony, is that, like you're saying, I think you could have got somebody else to sing the material, but I think being that you're the guy that wrote the stuff, there's also a certain thing about, you got a natural sound to your voice, and it probably sounds better you doing it than having somebody else, because you're the guy that wrote the stuff, so you can sing it more from your heart, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's worked out, and I'm comfortable with it now. But it took a while. But I'm very comfortable with it now. In fact, in one of my other songs that's not on this record, one of the lines is and I sang more words than I spoke. And I think at this point in my life, I've probably sung more words than I spoke. So I'm very comfortable in that position now, and very fortunate that it worked out that way. Because sometimes, if you are a songwriter, I'm sure sometimes another vocalist might be able to interpret something and you really like it, and other times it might be difficult to try to get them to have the heart and soul that you felt when you were writing it. So.
And do you think if like you were to have another guy singing your songs, do you think you might be more critical, in the sense that you tell them, hey, man, that's not the way I envisioned the song, or do you think it's just easier to sing it yourself, like I was saying?
I don't know. It would be interesting. First of all, I'd be honored if anybody wanted to cover one of my songs.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But I'm not a real critical singer. When I record a song, I basically sing it through a few times, and that's it. That's what's going on the record. I'm not real nitpicky. I just go for it, and that's what winds up on the record, and hopefully that's a good thing.
And another thing I want to ask you about, Tony, is I was seeing on your Facebook page it said something about Big Engine is on the Billboard 200 chart, and the album's not even out yet. So could you talk a little bit about what's going on there at the Billboard chart?
Oh yeah, we're on Billboard chart. We're trying to motivate our fans to do some pre-ordering.
Oh, okay.
Because it sure would be awesome and would really help the band out a lot if we were able to crack the Billboard 200. And it's attainable. I mean, we've got a good fans out there. It's just concentrating the effort into pre-orders and first week sales and everything to try to just really get the word out. Big Engine, we want to make as big a splash as possible.
And I got to ask you about the name Big Engine. Again, it's kind of down home and simple, but something about it I just love. How did you guys come up with that?
I had the name. I was in another band at the time, and we were looking to change the name, and I was always interested. It's funny that we play to a lot of motorcycle enthusiasts now, because even from a young age, I was always interested in motorcycles and hot rods and all that. And my dad used to say, all you care about is big engines.
Oh, wow.
It kind of stuck with me.
Oh, that's cool. Cool. Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was powerful and simple and looked good, paper, and the other guys in the band were like, oh, yeah, that's fantastic. So we've stuck with it over the years, and people can relate to it, not only from, I think it really sums up the way we play our music, but it's just kind of memorable.
Well, the last thing I want to ask you about, Tony, before I let you go, is you got these shows coming up in a couple of days, I guess, at the Full Throttle Saloon, like you said, and then I see you have some CD release parties. Now, will these release parties, they'll take place, I guess, after August 19th when the album's out, or will they take place before the album comes out?
No, it's the weekend after the album comes out. August 19th is a Tuesday. So that's traditionally when they do new releases on a Tuesday. So the following Friday, Saturday, we're at one of our favorite places in the world, which is the Boot Hill Saloon in Daytona Beach. And the Boot Hill has been real instrumental in really helping Big Engine out and playing those bike events and NASCAR events and stuff, and really kind of showcasing us to people from all over the world, literally, when they come to Daytona for those events. So we wanted kind of to thank them for their involvement with Big Engine over the years, and have a two-night release party there. And then the Sunday, so that's August 22nd, 23rd at the Boot Hill in Daytona Beach. And then the Sunday, the 24th, we're over on the other side of Florida in Homosassa, the Crystal River area, at a place called the High Octane Saloon, which is another really cool place for live music, and we've got a really good fan base there. So we're doing a coast-to-coast CD release party weekend.
And so let me ask you, what can people expect at these CD release parties? I imagine people go out and buy the CD at these release parties, and will you guys be playing live or playing any just solely material from this new album? What can we expect?
Oh, it's gonna be wide open. We're gonna, of course, play live and do all the songs. We're gonna have special event T-shirts and special event activities going on. We're gonna have full-on video crews there, kind of capturing it all, and we're probably going to be shooting another video for one of the songs off of the CD, and just a big celebration, man. It's incredible. I wish everybody in the world could see what goes on at a Big Engine show at one of these venues, and we're going to try to do that with the video cameras, but we just got such a great fan base that has just been so there for the band for years. So it's not a Johnny-come-lately type of thing where it's a new thing and everybody's kind of into it for a little bit. I mean, we've got fans that have been following this band literally for years and would do anything to see this band and travel and everything. And so we just want to celebrate with the people that have been with us, and of course any new fans too. But we just kind of a thank you to everybody that's been supporting the band and been a big part of our lives, and we've been a big part of their lives for a long time. And
has there been any talk once the album comes out, like of maybe you guys hooking up on some kind of tour with any of your label mates or record company putting like you guys on a package tour or something?
We'd love that to happen, absolutely. Yeah, because we've sold CDs in just about, I think, in every state in the union, but without many people knowing about it, because it's been just at our live shows. If we got out there on a nationwide tour with somebody else, that would be great, because we do have fans out there. It's not like breaking a brand new band.
Yeah.
So I think we'd be a good support act for anybody.
It's
most of the stuff that we've got to do with a lot of these other artists have been, one-offs or one or two here. So it'd be nice to get out there and do a full-fledged tour with another artist and really just canvas the country.
So I imagine August 19th when the album comes out, or CD rather, people will be able to get it in stores like Best Buy and that, as well as like iTunes and Amazon.com.
Yeah, it's already available for pre-order, and so we're trying to encourage people to pre-order. Some of the sites you can pre-order and you actually get it delivered to you on the release date. So,
that's cool. That's cool.
That's even better. I mean, a lot of stores are really scaling back with the physical CDs that they carry in stores. So a pre-order thing online where you can get it the day of the release. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I was curious, how do you feel about that, Tony? I mean, are you still a fan of physical CDs, or like a lot of people, do you prefer to get your music digitally these days?
Me personally, I love CDs. I mean, I love going to old record stores. We were in a couple days ago, I guess, we were in North Carolina, in Mount Airy, North Carolina, which is the real Mayberry. That's where Andy Griffith.
Yeah, of course.
And so we were traveling up to play in Morgantown, West Virginia, and we stopped off in Mayberry for the afternoon, and we found these old record stores and CD stores, and I mean the whole band. I mean, we're just going from A to Z. Oh, look at this! Oh man, look at this! Oh, look at the cover here. So I love that stuff.
Yeah, wow. What's a record store?
I have ordered. Go ahead.
I was saying, wow, what's a record store? You have these young teenage kids. They don't even know what we're talking about when we say record store.
I know. In fact, and same thing at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They actually were selling vinyl stuff, and just even if the technology is archaic, but by all means, just looking at it, picking it up, looking at the artwork, flipping it over, checking out some of the band photos, it's a neat thing to me. I do order stuff online. I do have an extensive iTunes catalog that of all my favorite bands, and I order it that way, and it's great. The convenience is incredible. But me personally, I also like when I do see a store like that. I just love to browse, even if it's a band that I've never heard of or have heard of and am not really a fan of. I still like picking up the record or the CD and just kind of giving it a look.
Yeah, I love to hear you say that, because I'm like you. I'm an old school guy. I mean, I'm going back to days. You remember when like Kiss Alive was out on vinyl? Double gatefold. You'd open it up and just you know what I'm talking about. The artwork and everything. And I still love that. Having a CD in my hand, being able to put something in the car CD player when I'm driving down the road and stuff.
Yeah.
I love that. Even I remember when we had Tower Records, and you go in like every Tuesday, like you're saying, and check out all the new releases. I'd save up my money to get everything I wanted, and I just miss that. And I think it's great to have all these new formats, but people should be able to, if you want an MP3, you want a CD, you want to have it on vinyl, whatever, make it available for everybody. And I think that even make more money that way, because to me, a lot of record companies screwed it for themselves. That's why I think it's great that bands like yourself, you're able to get out there and do your thing and promote your music. And it's great that there are all these independent bands, doing it themselves these days.
Yeah, and that's been one of the definite benefits. I mean, everybody's talked about the negative impact of file sharing and streaming and how it's hurt a lot of artists, and it has. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But for other people, it's definitely helped spread the word about bands, and it's given people the opportunity to check out bands at a less expensive cost if they want to. By checking them out online and listen to their tunes or whatever, and then making the decision if they want to make the purchase. So yeah, I mean, there's plus and minus to everything in life, and it's not going away, it doesn't look like. Like you, I do like having something physical. And if I've got the option to buy something physical or just to get a digital download of it, then I'm going to buy the physical, and then I'll transfer it onto my computer, onto my iPod or whatever. But I do like having the physical stuff. I like seeing the bands. I think you get a little bit more of the band's personality by the artwork they choose and the liner notes, and I like reading about where they recorded the record
and who's on the album,
who mastered the record.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a geek about that type of stuff.
Yeah.
My friends used to quiz ourselves. Well, who produced this? Oh, well, what else did he produce? We go through that type of trivia type of thing. It's not for everybody, but that's what I'm into, man.
And then on the flip side of that, to me, the cool thing about it is like Big Engine's album's coming out, for example, August 19th, and while probably the latest Bon Jovi album being in all the Best Buys and every store out there, if somebody wants to get the latest Big Engine and it's not at the local Best Buy or whatever, but somebody wants it that bad, they'll go order it on, Amazon.com. They'll order it from a band or whatever they got to do. And I think it makes it that much cooler. But if somebody wants your album, bad enough, they'll either come see the band live so they can get a copy at the show, or they go to whatever CD Baby or whatever place they got to go to get the Big Engine album. And I think that makes it that much cooler, because that shows you, how big of a fan somebody is.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of loyal people out there that have kept us alive over the years, and so we're very grateful about that. In whatever form they want to get the album, that's cool with me.
Well, Tony, I could also talk to you all day, but I know you're very busy, so I'm going to let you go now, and I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to do this. I can't thank you enough, and the interview will be going up probably in about 2 weeks or so, and I'll let your publicist know the minute it goes up, and after the album comes out, I'd like to maybe talk to you in a couple months to see how everything's going. It's really been great talking to you, though.
Yeah, it's been fantastic, man. I appreciate it. I feel like we're old friends or something.
Well, that's a great thing about this. Like I said, music is really the universal language, and it's just amazing that two guys that never met face to face could talk this long about music. And again, that just shows you the power of music,
Yeah, it's just amazing how there's, when you start writing a song, there's nothing there, and all of a sudden, there's this thing that, barring the holding the CD, I mean, even with the CD, you look at it,
yeah,
you can't see the song,
yeah,
but there's something that lasts forever, and it's just vibrations in the air. I mean, but it's just wild how much effect it can have on your life for the rest of your life.
Well, Tony, if we weren't friends before, I'd like to call you a friend now, and like I said, hopefully a couple months down the line we can do this again, and I'd like to encourage everybody to go get the new album, Shot Like a Rock, when it drops August 19th. The name of the band is Big Engine, and go out and support the guys, and we're really excited to help them get the word out about the band and the album. So thanks again, Tony. You take care.
Hey, man, thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, bye-bye.